Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day. So I think we will all agree that Steve Irwin was one of the best science communicators that has ever existed. I mean, he knew the knowledge, and it was like a fire in his bones. He had to share it with people because he was so excited about it. And I truly believe that he was genuine. It wasn't all just for show. I get that. I wanted to be like Steve Irwin. I really did. So fast forward several years. I'm on the Great Barrier Reef and I'm diving, and I learned that the guy that is teaching me this stuff, Dr. Jamie Seymour from James Cook University, I learned several days into interacting with him that he was actually on the boat when Steve Irwin died. And so I started asking questions, and I asked him if I could do an interview after we became friends, and it felt appropriate to do so. Steve Irwin was in a different boat when he was hit by the Stingray. He was brought to Croc 1, which is where Dr. Seymour was. Dr. Seymour was there because he's an expert in venomous animals. He was there to inform Steve and be an expert on the animals that Steve was going to be handling. Steve Irwin was a husband and a father, and he loved other people and wanted to communicate how awesome the world was, and I get all of those things. He was a human being. So, Dr. Seymour interacted with that human being, Steve Irwin, for a few days, and it was the last few days of his life. So, I just want to take a minute and listen to what Dr. Seymour has to say and see what Steve's effect was on his life. All right, so you are the expert toxinologist, I've learned?
Yep.
Did I get it right?
Got it right that time, yep.
Right. And so you were telling me that you were actually involved in one of the craziest things that's ever happened in the marine biology world, or at least most public, right? So, what happened?
Yeah, that's when we lost Steve. Look,
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin, yeah. Short answer to the whole scenario was, Steve was filming a very large stingray, probably 2.5 meters across from wingtip to wingtip. Unfortunately, it came in from the back end of the animal with the sun over his shoulder. The, for want of a better word, shadow hit the ray. The ray thought he was a big shark. Whipped the tail up. Tail's gone up. The barb, which was probably about that long, went between two ribs and ended up stuck in the bottom half of his heart.
Really?
So what you ended up with is, for the want of a better word, think of a stiletto wound into the left ventricle of your heart.
And you were there. You were there.
Yeah.
So what were you guys doing? You were filming?
We were filming a film for that Steve was making. It had a whole variety of things, but it was looking at Ocean's Deadliest. And so Steve had rung me probably 18 months beforehand going, we want to make this film about Ocean's Deadliest. In fact, Steve didn't. One of his mates did. He said, oh yeah. And I said, oh, who's it for? He said, oh, no, you wouldn't know it. It wouldn't matter. And this went to and fro, went on for like about 6 or 7 months. And eventually I said, who are we doing this for?
Yeah.
And there was this, oh, we're doing it for Steve Irwin. And I went, okay, I don't think I want to do this. And the answer was, why? I said, Steve's an idiot. He's a dead set idiot. There's a drinking game that you watch when you watch his films. And every time he does something stupid, you've got to scull a beer.
Yeah.
You can't get through a 50-minute thing before you're absolutely plastered.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw before I'd met Steve. And it was really interesting because I just went, no, he's an idiot. I don't want to go there. And then Steve came up and saw me. And he came up on Croc 1 and we sat down and had a talk. And he said, look, this is what I want to do and I want you to teach me about it. And I said, look, Steve, you do realise that people think you're an absolute moron. And he went, yeah. I said, are you? And he said, Jamie, do you watch my shows? And I went, not really. And he said, do you watch any of them? I said, yeah, a couple. He said, why do you watch? I said, to see what you're going to do wrong. He said, gotcha.
Right.
The moment I've got you hooked in to see whether I'm going to do anything wrong, I can tell you anything, and you're going to remember it. And that's what I remember about Steve, is he, for the want of a better word, put himself out there as this, bogan, for the want of a better word.
Right.
What do you remember about Steve Irwin? Crocs rules, save the crocs, conservation. And that's what this guy was all about. To the extent he'd make himself look like a complete moron.
So it was kind of a selfless thing.
Exactly. And that's what Steve was like. And it wasn't until you met him, or when I met him for the first time, I just went, this guy's genuine. He seriously is genuine. And he was prepared to put himself out there and make a fool of himself to help the conservation. And help the conservation, boy, did he what? And 20 years ago, people kill crocs.
Right.
Nowadays,
they don't.
Crocs rule.
That's nice.
That's what Australians remember. That's what the world remembers.
So how did it affect you? Was it bad?
Define bad, yeah, it knocked me around for a good 6 to 12 months. I almost gave it all away.
Yeah.
I went from
because you're dealing with deadly animals all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I went from times where I was clear, concise, knowing yes, this is it, to 5 minutes later being a crying mess on the floor.
Right.
And the one thing that saved me, and I still remember it, was my son sitting there and going, I remember sitting down with my son and my daughter and going, I'm going to give it away. I can't do this. And my son said, why? I said, Ben, if I do this, I could die. And both he and Amelia, my daughter, said at the same time, but Dad, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And I went, what? And I said, Dad, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to be out there, you're going to do these sorts of things. You know what you're doing, you've never had a problem before, why change?
Yeah.
And that stuck. And then the next thing, the pair of them both said, apart from that, if you don't do it, how do people learn?
Yeah, and so, I mean, you're dealing with deadly animals, and if you don't understand more about deadly animals, more people die.
Exactly. And so it's,
So what you're doing is a big deal.
Yeah, I guess it is, but it never feels that way.
Yeah.
And it's always, it's the sort of thing you just do on a daily basis, and a lot of people go, you take lots of risks and things, but we actually don't. And it's one of the big things that I talk about with a lot of people. Some people go, I've been bitten by 55 snakes and I'm still alive. And it's like, that's 55 mistakes you made.
Right.
And that's the way I look at it too. I've been hit 11 times by irukandji jellyfish and ended up in hospital and all of them. That's 11 mistakes I made.
Right.
And I'm not proud of it. I'm more proud if I can come in, show somebody, do something, show them a venomous animal and walk away, and nobody has gotten to a situation where they're anywhere near being envenomed. That's the bit when I go, I've done it.
Well, you certainly taught me a lot, and
that's good.
Yeah, appreciate it. I like your teaching style too. It's very
That's
good.
out there.
Yeah, no, it's good. You're very engaging. So anyway, that is Dr. Jamie Seymour. I really appreciate his time. So if you want to, do you have anything going on that you want people to know about? I mean, you've spent a lot of time with us. It's only fair that we show what you're doing. Do you have?
Short answer. If you want to know about venomous marine animals, you're looking for somewhere to study, JCU.
Really?
Absolutely.
James Cook University.
Yep, and if you're looking to do postgrad stuff and work, give me a call. We're always looking for good quality postgraduate students.
And you actually teach the venomous animals course here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yep.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. Jamie really did spend, 3-4 days. He went
felt like weeks.
It felt like weeks. He went out into the water with me, even though he had other stuff to do. So, really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure. I'm Destin. Get smarter every day. Have a good one. So I hope this gave you more insight into Steve Irwin's life rather than just focusing on his death like most media tends to do. Dr. Seymour wanted me to remind you that most people think Steve was being dangerous all the time, but he was taking precautions, and he always knew when to back away when an animal wasn't behaving correctly. He had like a sixth sense for that sort of thing. So Dr. Seymour's words were, it was a freak accident, it wasn't Steve's fault. One last thing, we are continuing the Australia series here on Smarter Every Day with Dr. Jamie Seymour, so if you want to keep learning about this stuff, feel free to click Australia around my head to subscribe if we've earned it, or check out any one of these videos and learn about a particular animal. I am super excited about this. I hope you guys are too. I'm Destin. You're getting smarter every day. Have a good one.